Oh, sorry. Where's my manners? I shouldn't do the fatality before I speak, fam. Full time. Arsenal 3. Manchester United 1. Manchester United thought that they scored a late win in the game. Disallowed, so we had to go and score 2. Let's get it. Before I get on to Man United fans and kicking them while they're down, I'll talk about the game. So it was a game where we're at home and we should not be dropping any points whatsoever to Man United. They're shocking away from home. They can't win for shit against the top 9 of last season so far. You know what I mean? And it was a game that we shouldn't really be struggling in. But what happened was, the typical Arsenal thing happened where we're doing everything in the game, passing around, moving, holding possession, all this stuff. But we're not. It's all working, no penetration. It takes yet again Rashford to score, because Rashford merges into Mbappe when it comes to playing Arsenal. That's what he does, right? So Rashford gets the goal, which I called would happen as soon as they went on a counter-attack. That goal was so predictable. It was so predictable. It's unbelievable how predictable that goal was. Man U do nothing, but they'll get a counter-attack because of a mistake, and it was Kai Havertz's mistake of trying to make a pass and it didn't work out, right? He makes a pass, didn't work out. They go on a counter-attack. Rashford scores. You know what I mean? I knew that goal was coming. It was just so blatantly obvious. But then 35 seconds later, Odegaard puts us, or equalises for us. 1-1. Brilliant finish. I thought it was Havertz that made the assist, but it was actually Martinelli. But, I'm being a bit rude here. Don DeMarcos for that. Don DeMarco. I mean, man, like Odegaard fan. I think this is a season where we're going to see him shine through, like proper. You know what I mean? Like he's going to be like important kind of thing. He already is anyway, really. I mean, we can't. He even though he does ghost in some games, like he does stuff like this as well. Martinelli, I think, had a good game. But yeah, 1-1, back in the game. Takes us to half-time at 1-1. I'm looking at him thinking, fam, we shouldn't be struggling like this. It's Man United at the Emirates, a team that we always beat here. You know what I mean? We always beat them at the Emirates. Like, why are we struggling against them? So, second half comes round. There was a penalty claim for Kai Havertz. And to be fair, depending on which angle you look at it at, it was a dive. You know what I mean? It was a dive. But those do get given. Like, if that happens against Man U at Old Trafford, it's getting given. Even with VAR. You know what I mean? They're giving that. So it's just how it is. They're giving it. I'm watching again further, and it's like, why ain't Arteta making any subs? Because we know this guy and his decision making is off. I mean, we know that. But the game keeps carrying on. And I'm seeing United make subs. Obviously, they brought on the B-Tech Haaland, who I thought would score. I mean, all he did in the game was just show 2-2 bit of strength that led to nothing in the end. But yeah, in the game, it's just one of those where it's like, when are we going to score? Because we're all over them. Like, there was a point where Man U were pressing and they were having shots. They were putting pressure on and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But it should never be a case of we're struggling against Man United. So then when it comes to can't remember what minute it was again, it's Jesus had the ball, lost possession. they went on a counter-attack again. And I think Casemiro puts the ball through for Garnacho, and he puts it in the back of the net, which would look like to be the winner for Man United to win 2-1, right? Which could have easily happened. But they didn't get the benefit of the doubt of the offside. You know what I mean? But this is what I'm talking about with Arsenal, is mistakes leading to teams scoring in big games. Did this against City last season as well. It's just what we do. But we were fortunate. And then Rice does a Reece Nelson. Yep. Rice literally did a Reece Nelson. Literally did a Reece Nelson. If you look at the way he teared up that ball before he smashed it and it deflected in, the exact same manner Reece Nelson did against Bournemouth. So now, if you score a goal like that, I'm officially stamping it down as you've done a Reece Nelson. And Rice, man like Deckers, man like Rice, literally did a Reece Nelson. 2-1. You know what I mean? 2-1. Man like Deckers, fam. You know what I mean? There's no better team than Man United to be scoring goals against. You know what I mean? Man like Deckers, my G. What looks like to be the final and winning goal. But then Gabriel Jesus happened. Now, I've been critical of Gabriel Jesus, but he's just come back from injury. And he looked sharp when he came on. Fabio Vieira, man like Fabs. I backed this guy. I said this guy's going to be something. And then against, I think it was Sporting, I was like, nah, I think I've got the wrong judgment. But now I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, this is exactly what I was aiming at. That he's gonna be a player that's gonna do something. You know what I mean? That's gonna mean something, at least in the game by game anyway. You know what I mean? He makes the right pass, the right weighted pass, because people can say all he had to do was pass to Gabriel Jesus, but we saw last season against Liverpool at Anfield when Martinelli, all he had to do was make a pass to Saka, but he overpassed it, put too much on it. You know what I mean? We could have won that game 3-2. You know what I mean? But again, Fabio Vieira makes an impact. And I'll give Arteta his flowers for that. Because he got that sub right. He came on and made something happen. You know what I mean? And then Jesus, as soon as he cut in, I knew we were going to score it. All I had to do was place it. That's it. 3-1. Scoreline I predicted. I said 3-1 either way. If Arteta gets it right, we win 3-1. If not, they win 3-1. You know what I mean? These men could only manage one goal, and the other one was ruled offside, and these man thought they were actually going to come here and do something. You know what I mean? But Don DeMarco's all around for the Arsenal team, for Arteta and everything like that. Now, what I'm going to talk about now is the red flags. The red flag, well, the major red flag really is the fact that it wasn't 3-1 by an hour mark. Why are we struggling against Man United at home? Why do we need 2 late goals to see out the game? Why are we not just beating these men easily? Why are we even conceding against these men? You know what I mean? Another thing for me, because really that's really the only red flag, because you know we shouldn't be struggling at home against Man United. Spurs went beaten 2-0 when Man United went there. You know what I mean? But it's no surprise anybody can score at the Emirates. One thing for me that I don't like is Trossard not getting any games at all at this moment in time. He got a start against Fulham last week, and then because he didn't do anything, he didn't have a good game. After it was like, see, I'm justified in being goofy. You know what I mean? The fact that usually when Martinelli comes off, it's Trossard that goes on. Obviously, we know he needs to keep Reece Nelson happy. He signed a contract extension, this, that, and the other, right? But he brought on Reece Nelson in Martinelli's place. That tells you everything you need to know. That tells you that Trossard he is the next Tina. You know what I mean? He's the next Tina. Unfortunately, the fact that he didn't see anything of this game, well, that's Arteta for you. Now, in terms of the starting lineup for this game, other than Kai Havertz, I didn't have a complaint really with that. That's the starting lineup I'd expect for this game. We knew Havertz was going to start, but that's the lineup I expect. The only reason Gabriel came back in was because Partey was injured. Otherwise, he would have gone with the goofiness. You know what I mean? He would have gone with the goofiness, no doubt. The game, for me, reminded me of the Community Shield, where we're doing all this, but we're just doing nothing up top. You know what I mean? Nketiah was moving around in the game. He wasn't being a pony. You know what I mean? So when he was on and stuff like that, I mean, I haven't got no faults with Nketiah on that. You know what I mean? Obviously, Arteta taking him off and putting Jesus on was clearly the right move. That's why I'm giving him a Don Marco for that. Now, before I cook Man United fans, I've got some comments, so let me just get into the comments. Havertown is so garbage. And Havertz. We need a striker so badly. I agree. We do. We like, I'm not taking this win and be like, oh, we're fine now. Nope. You know what I mean? It's crazy that Havertz costs as much as Basuma and Maddison combined. Ridiculous. Maddison's a player. As Spurs have got a bit of a gem on their hands right now. You know what I mean? We're having Maddison. We could have done with a player like him. You know what I mean? Imagine him in our midfield, the way we play. You know what I mean? When we're on it. The Havertz deal really screwed us over on so many levels. It did. You know what I mean? It did. Should have gone for Craven Birch instead. Not sure which player that is. Happy we beat those pussies and can't wait to see Rand's meltdown, but not convinced by our struggles just to beat them at home. Exactly. Now I can't wait for Rance's videos. I can't wait. I'm definitely shooting in for that. But as for the last part, not convinced by our struggles, I'm not convinced either. This ain't sustainable. You know what I mean? Doing this and at home against Man United, it's not sustainable. No way, Jose Enrique fan. The buying guy who joined Liverpool. Oh, that guy. I don't know how good he is, but I'm sure he's better than Havertz. So that should tell you all you need to know of how much I rate Havertz. You know what I mean? Not very much at all. But yeah. So as for United fans, what's the excuse going to be this time? Let me just hide the comment. What's the excuse going to be this time? Because last season, what we heard, right, was that if Man United had Casemiro, they would have beaten us. You know what I mean? Because obviously, at the game at Old Trafford last season, we lost 3-1, right? And there was no Casemiro, and there was no Partey either. But there was no Casemiro for that game, because obviously he only just signed, right? Well, at the Emirates, he was suspended the game before, right? And there was this narrative going around that, oh, if we had Casemiro, mate, it'd have beaten you. All right, then. So how come you lost by a worse scoreline this time round? You know what I mean? I think losing 3-1 is worse than losing 3-2. 3-2 looks like you put up more of a fight. In fact, right? You went in front in that game, and then you equalized again in that game. This time round, you just went in front and did nothing. You know what I mean? All work, no penetration. But you man think, right? And in fact, this is going to be United fans' next excuse now, right? This Amrabat guy, who, according to someone in my TikTok, when I put a story on the match reaction, said that he had rice on toast, basically. In not in so many words, but you know, he Rice struggled against him apparently in the Europa Conference, right? To which Rice ultimately won, right? United fans are predictable. Now the narrative is going to be, oh, if we had Amrabat, mate, it'd have beaten you. So we'll just be prepared that not having Amrabat being available to play is going to be United fans' excuse for why they didn't win this game. No. So we'll just beat them 3-0 then next season. How about that? We need another 6 and a number 9 in the winter transfer. So by the you see, with this money that we splashed on Rice and everything like that, it's a bit like if when as a child you wanted toys or you wanted some chocolate or whatever, and your parents or grandparents bought it you, and then later on you want something else, and it's like, well, I bought you this, and you wanted it so much. That's how Arsenal are treating us. That's how I knew that we weren't going to sign anybody else once we got Havertz, Rice, Timber. You know what I mean? We got David Raya on loan. You know, we had to let Turner go, right? But you know, we're not adding to the team. If anything, we're making ourselves worse off. Less bodies in the team. You know what I mean? Look at the transfers of outgoings versus in. You know what I mean? We signed 4 players, 5 players? No, it's a pity that Timber, you know, with how good he performed in the Community Shield and everything like that, it's a pity that he wasn't, you know, in this lineup for this game. He would have been a good addition. But to be fair, Zinchenko, he wasn't that bad today. From what I can remember, he wasn't. He's still not a left back. You know what I mean? He's still not thing. But going forward, you know, I'm not complaining too much, but letting Tini go was stupid. But getting back to United fans, we know that that's going to be the next excuse now. You know, we didn't have Amrabat, mate. If we had him in time, mate, we would have beaten you.
Stop it. Get some help.
And you see what you United fans need to do is you need to cry more. You know what I mean? Man's not here for them excuses, fam. You know what I mean? Take the L. You know, it's quite heavy, right? He's still got no wins away from home against the top 9 of last season, and you probably won't for the rest of this season. Yep. You man are something else. You man are Ten Hag, the gift that keeps on giving, fam. You know what I mean? Ten Heisenberg, fam. Remember that? Ten Heisenberg. What's he doing for you, man? Now, you know what I mean? Honeymoon period is gone. So when this Amrabat guy has a few good games for you, you start comparing him to Rice, even though from what I saw in the game today, Rice was better than all your midfielders. But it was a friendlies that you man gassed. Where what was it? What was the guy's name? The teenager, the youth player that United have got. That they were boasting that had a better game than Declan Rice in a friendly when United beat us 2-0. Remember that? I can't remember the guy's name. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's English or not. Is black player. Can't remember his name. Someone might know, and they might put it in the comments. I don't know. But yeah, he had a good game against Arsenal in a friendly. You know what I mean? You know, in a game it means nothing. It's just a case of let's see what my best team is. You know, when you beat us 2-0, it was a World Cup final. You know what I mean? Because I suppose, you know, if you're going to beat us in 2023, it's going to be in a friendly because you ain't going to do it anywhere else, are you? You know what I mean? So maybe if we draw each other in a cup this season, League Cup, FA Cup or something, before we go to Old Trafford. Maybe then that'll be your better chance of getting a win, and maybe a win at the Emirates as well. Hopefully, it won't happen, but in terms of you getting a win, that is, because I don't mind drawing you, man. But yeah, maybe United fans, but it wasn't your day today. You know what I mean? You man thought you man were outclassed in the end, and you had Casemiro. You know what I mean? The world's greatest midfielder that won all these Champions League with Real Madrid, left that to come to you, man, to win the League Cup, fam. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to downplay the League Cup, but come on now. You know what I mean? But what can I say? What can I say? You know what I mean? 3-1 winners. You man thought it wasn't to be. I don't know if there's any more to take from the game, really. I mean, there's only so much I can say about you, man. Because, as I said, you're predictable. You're going to use this Amrabat guy as an excuse as to why you didn't win this game. Because that's how down bad you man are. You know what I mean? We didn't have Partey, and we beat you, man, with a better scoreline than last season by conceding one less goal. My G. You know what I mean? And all we got from you, man, was Fuad Casemiro, who would have won the game against Arsenal last season. And you had him this season, and he didn't win. Again. Well, yeah. Anyways, I'm done with this video. I streamed it live because I wanted it to just go straight up. I didn't want to have to edit the video and then wait for it to post, because I post my videos in the highest quality I can for you guys. You know what I mean? I don't want to post in no struggle quality. I post in full HD. It's 60 frames per second. You know what I mean? But anyways, like the video, share the video, comment, subscribe to the channel, follow all the socials. The links are in the description. And yes, there's still red flags at this club. This win doesn't mean that we've turned over a new leaf. We still got some sorting out to do. There's much more work to be done. You know what I mean? United, we should be beating them anyway. You know what I mean? It's sweet to beat them in the manner that we did. You know what I mean? Another late goal again. You know what I mean? These men just love coming here and conceding late goals, don't they? You know what I mean? But yeah. Oh shit. Missed that. Funny though that these men were getting ready to cook us when they thought it was 2-1. Then before a blink of an eye, it became 3-1 to us. Life comes at you fast. Facts. Facts. You know what I mean? These men thought that Garnacho, put the ball in the back of the net and it was a winner. And, we can say how harsh these offsides are when it comes to the arm and stuff like that, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It doesn't happen to a sweeter team than you, man. Because you man's success is off the backs of referees being incompetent. You know what I mean? This is what United, before I leave, this is what United fans need to understand. Your success is off the backs of incompetent referees and officials, fam. Had it not been for that, you wouldn't be celebrating no 20 league titles. You'd still be behind Liverpool, fam. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have 20 league, you wouldn't have 13 Premier League titles if it weren't for the officials giving you some bullshit. The amount of times Ashley Young dived and then all these things, Wayne Rooney diving and all that shit. The amount of times that's happened, especially at Old Trafford, the amount of shit you man get away with, this is why I'll never feel sorry for Man United when they get robbed. You know what I mean? The only time, if anything, the only weakness of United during them times was Chelsea. Man United tend to get robbed by Chelsea. You know what I mean? It tends to happen whether it's Old Trafford or at Stamford Bridge. I'll never forget when Chelsea won the league in 2010. And the game at Old Trafford was nearer towards the end of the season. And obviously, Man United needed to win that game anyway. And Drogba scored. He was like miles offside. And didn't even flag him offside. You know what I mean? But he was offside. You know what I mean? Because I think Chelsea won that game 2-1, 3-1 or whatever. But I don't feel sorry for Man United when they get robbed. Don't at all. Because they always get away with shit. You know what I mean? A few seasons ago, Everton were robbed of I think a draw or a win at Goodison Park. When I think Sigurdsson, I can't remember if it was him that was on the floor or he was the one that kicked it. But the ball was kicked. The player was sat on his ass on the floor. De Gea's view wasn't blocked, but the player just lifted his legs up to let the ball roll underneath. Because if it touched him, he'd have been offside or something. He went in, and it was flagged. It didn't count because of that. This is shit Man United get away with. Wolves, at the start of the season, Wolves should have won that game comfortably. Right? Onana, man just claps the player, no penalty, no nothing, and Man U get away with the benefit of the doubt. And you think I'm going to feel sorry for these men whenever they get robbed?
Oh,
Fuck no. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Anyways, we finished as we started. And yeah, Arsenal 3-1 winners against Manchester United. Onwards and upwards for us. Our next game is Everton away. Everton away is our next game, and that is not going to be easy. We've going into the game against Everton with this kind of form is not good enough. Struggling against Man United at home. You know what I mean? Let's not get carried away. We struggled against Man United at home. As much as it's nice and all that we beat him, we struggled at home. And let's face it, we didn't beat Fulham either. So we've got Everton away from home next Sunday. Then we've got PSV in the Champions League. And then Tottenham in the league. And then Brentford in the cup. That's our next 4 games. We'll see what we do then. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in a bit. Peace.